man, what the do y'all know about sports?
You are now listening to the Best Damn Sports Podcast. Period. Welcome back, everyone, to the What Do Women Know About Sports Podcast. I am Bree Nicole.
And I'm Vicky D.
What's up, Victoria?
Nothing much.
You know, so listen, we're not really still on lockdown per se.
I know everything is, I'm not either. So everything here in Missouri, well, in St. Louis, opened up on May 18th. But yeah, so, people were already at the Galleria.
Ridiculous.
Lines out the door, spots full, like ridiculous.
Listen, here's my thing with that. I'm letting the first batch of people go out as like test dummies, you know? Yeah.
Right.
Because listen, if you watch the video, these eyebrows looking real messy, but I'm not trying to die over bad eyebrows. So I can wait 2 more weeks. It's not worth it. I'm gonna wait at least 2 more weeks.
Right. I mean, luckily I can do my own hair and nails and feet, so I'm good.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it. I was talking to my cousin and me and my cousin been talking about getting our eyebrows done for like the past 2 weeks, and like we struggling, but we don't want to die about it either. So
it ain't worth it. Yeah, I can wait. It ain't worth it. Nope.
I'm definitely gonna wait 2 more weeks. I am.
Well, we'll see if there are any new cases that spike up. We'll see.
I believe it will, because when Georgia opened, like they instantly had new cases. Instantly.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Let's just see what happens. Some exciting news about us. If you do not know, we have merchandise.
Yes. Merchandise. Got shirts. We got hats. So you got to go on our Instagram. What do women know about sports? Click on the link in the bio. You can get your merch.
Get you some merch because
come support the girls.
Because you need t-shirts and hats to live in. I love a good hat.
Me too. I love a good t-shirt. A good t-shirt.
So yeah, just go out and support. Just click on the link. It takes you right there. Buy you a couple shirts, a couple hats, or just buy you one shirt, one hat. Doesn't matter. Just buy.
Oh. Hey.
Just buy. And this is what I'm going to do. If you buy the merchandise and you take a picture of yourself in it and you tag us in it, I'll post you on social media.
We'll shout you out.
We give you a little shout out. Blast you. Who doesn't like a good social media blast? So yeah. All right. The main event. The last dance is over.
Oh, I was so upset. Like when they showed the 10th episode, I'm just like, oh my God, is it over? No. We need like 10 more of these.
We need like 10 more because I want to know about what did he do when he went to Washington? What was that stage? You know what I'm saying? I know, but I want to know the behind the scenes. What was that stage like in your life?
Yeah, I mean, that would be a whole nother title, a whole nother thing, because The Last Dance was specifically about the last year.
Of the Bulls. Yeah.
Right. So and all the years that led up to the 97-98 season. So, I mean.
Yeah. I'm really sad that it's off though. I'm really it's I was so invested for 10 episodes.
Oh my God. It was incredible. That miniseries should win something. It gotta win something.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Seriously.
And then so it aired on ESPN, and then I noticed that a commercial was I saw a commercial that was advertising the next 30 for 30 series.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
Like the one about Lance Armstrong is going to be amazing. It's going to
And the
be
one
the one.
about Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire.
I'm watching that one because like
Oh, definitely.
I remember that era. Like
We
Mark
grew up
McGuire
watching
and
them
Sammy.
play.
Yeah, like for us, like being from St. Louis and Mark McGuire playing her, he was that
And
guy.
Chicago being our arch
Yeah,
nemesis, like,
I'm
yeah,
watching it. So
those
please
were the
check
days.
that out. Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot
please
what
check
the
that
other
out.
ones were.
So
There's some
it's
other
so
30 for 30.
I know for a fact they showed three. It's the Lance Armstrong one. It's the one about Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa, and it is another one, but I
I
just
know, I
cannot.
forgot.
Oh, I think it's Jet Li. It is Jet Li.
Oh no, Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee. I'm
Bruce
sorry, it's
Lee.
Bruce Lee.
Mm-hmm. Jet Li.
I might watch. Sorry, it's Bruce Lee. I might watch that one too because
Yeah,
like I've never heard his story before. Like so I'm gonna watch that.
yeah, those would be good. I miss the 30 for 30s.
I love it. My
Yep,
favorite 30 for 30 is the one about the University of Miami. That's a really good one.
really. Mine is actually the one about the Lakers and the Celtics. That
I
was a
watched
good
that one
one.
too. I watched
Yeah,
that
that
one
was
too, and
my
that one was
favorite.
really good. And that one was really good.
Hmm.
But like the very first one I saw that got me into like 30 for 30 was the
Hmm.
one about the University of Miami when they were a powerhouse. It is
Okay,
amazing.
what sport?
It's the University of Miami. It's college football. It's called the U.
Oh, okay.
It's like legit amazing. Like I've seen it probably 3 or 4 times. I would go back and watch it like I've never seen it.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
and I also like the one. I'm not sure if it was a 30 for 30 or just a documentary, but it was on Peyton Manning and his family. That's a really good one too.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, if you don't watch 30 for 30, please, like it's great
Wow,
documentaries
yeah, it's
about a lot
awesome
of
too.
amazing people.
Mhm.
So let's just jump right in.
Man, we
So
got to get into the good stuff. So we already talked about episodes 1 through 6.
right, right.
Okay, so now we're gonna dive in to episodes 7 through 10. Okay.
Yes, yes.
All right. It was a lot going on in 7 and 8.
Okay, it
Okay.
was. It
It was a
was.
lot, but so episode 7, it started out. Well, episode 7 in general was basically about Michael's relationship with his dad.
Listen, I was a mess. I was a mess.
Listen, especially toward the end of the episode.
Man, when he was on the floor balling, I was a mess. So here's the thing. So in the previous episode, like you stated how many people did not like Michael Jordan, and they probably still don't because they
Right?
feel he was a jerk and he was mean.
An
But for me, like I
asshole.
didn't feel yeah. And so for me, I stated previously I didn't feel like that. But episode 7, it gave you more of the human side of him. His dad was
Right.
like that's his dad. Like
His
he
friend,
was
his best friend. Like, mhm.
his dad was there for like almost every game, like the big games that mattered.
We all saw him when he was there when he won his first championship.
Like that's a moment. And for
Yeah.
his dad to like die the way that he passed, oh my god.
Yeah. Um, and what I didn't like was that people blamed Michael for his death.
Like for the gambling stuff, like please don't do that. This is already a tragic moment. Don't layer on like more dirt on top of that. Don't do that.
Right. This man is grieving. Y'all want to blame him and had no evidence connecting him to it. Like, stop.
Right.
Like, y'all just hating at this point because this dude is unstoppable. Like, that's why I hate the media. Like, no.
Yep. But it was
So,
so for me on what I so it was a great episode, and mainly because it made him more human. It showed him having feelings. Um,
yeah.
I'm not gonna say that I liked when he cried, but it showed he had emotion. Like you see him leave the lock, you see him leave the court after they won I believe it was the 90s, it was the 95-96 championship. He he falls on the floor and like the way he was heaving and breathing, you just knew that he was carrying a lot of weight. He was
Yeah.
carrying all of that. Like he was
Mhm.
carrying like everything like that had been thrown to him on like I guess like when he retired after '93 season, his time playing the baseball and people saying that he
So
wasn't great at that. It was a lot.
yeah, yeah. So and this was on Father's Day, which made it even worse. So they played
Yeah,
on Father's Day.
I probably wouldn't have played. I probably wouldn't have played. But I'm
But
like
knowing
Jordan.
Michael, he would have played for him. So I understood that.
Yeah,
Like if that would have happened to me, I would have. You know what I'm saying? So did it for him. So to win this would have this was the first championship that he's won without his dad. So
yeah.
that's what made it emotional too. So,
I liked it.
but
I mean, I like them all, but that one was probably my favorite. That was probably a standout moment, like for me in the entire series.
the episode 7.
Yeah,
Hmm. So people grieve differently. So Michael was just like, "Look, I'm finna retire. Forget this." And this was during the off season, after they won.
yeah,
So he just was like, "You know what? I'm finna retire. If it." And he's
yep.
gonna go play baseball. And like baseball, he's done this since he was a child. His dad wanted him to play baseball. This is a dream of his. So
I understood
he
why he
went
did
ahead
it. I
and
understood.
huh.
I said I understood like why he went to play baseball. I got it. Like it was an escape like from whatever his normal was. This was an escape. So I
Right,
understood it.
right. So he didn't
And he
quite play in the he didn't quite play in the major leagues. I think he played in like the minor league. Did he play in the minor league?
it was like was it minor? It was like I think it was minor. I don't
Yeah, he
it had
didn't.
to have been minor.
No, he didn't play in the major leagues. If he would have stayed playing baseball, he
Yeah.
he he could have.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was an outfielder. That was his position. Um, so when he played his first 13 games, he started. He had a 13-game winning streak or whatever.
Yep.
So, and then they were saying how it's like, okay, you got this 13-game winning streak. When is that going to end? Like all good things must come to an end, and it did. And he ended
It
up
did.
sucking and striking out and like hitting everything that came to him. But yeah, that happened for about like they said a month and a half.
Yeah.
um, yeah, and so after that, in true MJ fashion, he did work harder, bettered
Practice.
himself. Yeah,
Right.
practice, right, right, and you know he he eventually got better. He did hit over like 200, like 202, I think they said, and he had like 50 runs, which is pretty impressive. So I mean, like dude said, I forgot who said it, but if he would have continued playing baseball, he could have went to the major leagues. So
Hey, listen. When his trainer got on there and told him that you're leaving one sport where your body is shaped for this sport and you're coming to this sport, it's a whole different training. You have to have your body set to play this sport. He
right,
transformed his body from being a basketball body into a baseball body. Like that's a lot of first of all, it's dedication. It's
yeah,
hard work and it's determination. It's like so that lets me know that you can do anything you set your mind to,
yeah, for
and he
real,
did it, and he did it, and he did like he had never in his life played like baseball at that stage, whether it was major or minor, and it was minor, but he did it,
right. Yeah, but he
and
played like
he
as a kid, so it's kind of not the same. It's like, because like he said, baseball is actually harder than you think. I mean,
yeah
y'all think it's just like swinging a bat, but it's harder than y'all think. So
yeah
it's a whole different, like, because I think baseball, uh, like I know, so like with basketball, it kind of deals with like,
your upper
I'm
body.
trying to get upper body, or is it baseball? I'm not sure, but it's just
So
it's different.
So for me, I think that basketball deals more with like your upper body because you have to have a strong center, especially if you're
Right?
gonna be like on defense and bagging people down and like stand within your section or whatever, it's more of a
Right.
of upper body strength. And because if you look, a lot of basketball players are they have really skinny legs.
Right.
They don't do a lot. That I mean, I'm sure they do leg work, but it's not like
It's not a focal point.
yeah, it's not a focal point for
Mhm.
them. It's not a focal point.
Right.
And whereas
So,
baseball, it's a full body like you run it. It's a full body sport.
man, yes, I'm sure that was hard. But the funny part about this episode is I don't know how you would feel about somebody calling you this, but he steady called players or teammates bitches and hoes. I'm like, dude, like you never ain't gonna call me no bitch or no hoe. First of all,
That's the way he talked to people, and people he
right,
talked to people like that, and people, I think once you stood up to him and let him know like it doesn't phase you, then he kind of like respected you more. But yeah, he talked to you
right,
real bad. He talked to you
right.
real bad.
Yeah,
He's not talking to me like that.
yeah, it definitely kind of focused on how much of an asshole he really was, and like, but he
Mm-hmm.
wanted his teammates to like be better, and he would just make them tougher and stronger, and kind of push them to his level of what he wanted them to be playing with him. Especially Scott Burrell.
Oh man, he was dogging him.
Oh my god! But like you said, he was too nice. Like you couldn't like rile him up. Like he was just one of them dudes that was just too nice.
He was dogging Scott Burrell, and Scott Burrell would just sit there and take it. Sir,
He sure
where's your
would.
backbone? Where's your
Sure
backbone?
would.
I'm not taking. I don't care if you are Michael Jordan. I'm not taking this.
Yeah, that was funny. And then this was the season that MJ was not a part of, the 93-94 season when he went to play baseball. And then so Scottie Pippen was that Michael Jordan of the team at that time. So he was like he stepped up and he was the star player. The team played pretty good without him. They went to the
Yeah,
first round, but they lost. They did go to the first round, but you know. And then that's when Tony Kukoc joined the team. You know, Jerry Krause was trying to get that dude so bad. You know, in the last, he was trying to get that dude to come, but he finally got him
Jerry
to
Krause.
come
I mean Jerry Krause. Like I have to respect the fact that he put this dynasty together. But like
along with the
towards the
general
end,
manager or
yeah. But
yeah,
yeah. But like
or the
towards the end, his ownership was sucky.
oh
He
yeah,
sucked. He
oh yeah,
sucked badly.
because everybody left.
He sucked.
But in one of the plays, it was I think I'm not sure who they played. Oh, it was against the Knicks. It was game 3 against the Knicks. So Phil Jackson was setting up a play for Kukoc to make the game winning shot because he did make a lot of those game winning shots. So Scotty was upset. You know, him being a star player, he's like, "Why are you having Tony Kukoc make the shot when I'm right here?" Like, hello.
Right.
And
Hello.
that kind of made me mad because I'm like, dude, like, this is a team sport. Phil Jackson was all about
A
team. He's
team
a
sport.
team oriented person. Okay. He's the coach. Let him do this. Okay. He know what he doing. Okay. And I'm like, if he would have told Michael that he was going to set up this shot for Tony Kukoc, I believe Michael would have been okay with it because he knew that Kukoc would have been like, okay, I got this. Because he did that with John Paxson and Steve Kerr. Like, he knew those two dudes was going to shoot that shot if he gave it to him. So I feel like
Right.
Michael would have been okay with that, but Scotty wasn't having it. I'm like, first of all, he think he Michael or something? Like,
And what really made me, I wasn't mad. I was more so disappointed. You set out
yeah,
like like you instead of you just like being a part of this team effort, you let your whole entire team down just because like you aren't taking the game winning shot. And Kukoc made the shot. He
He
made
did
it.
make the shot, but Phil wanted,
But you
and then
gotta,
Phil wanted Scotty to take the ball out. He was like, "Oh hell no!" So he sat out.
you set out like you let your team down at this point. It was
Yeah,
like you turned your back on us like we needed you most. That's not a team player. That's
that was
not.
selfish, very
Yeah, that's
selfish.
very very selfish.
hmm
And I think
So
it took for I think Michael talked to him about it. He called him or whatever. They discussed it and he
like he,
apologized because
like
like
he,
if you're gonna be on this team, I have to be able to trust you.
yeah. They eventually
And
lost the series though.
yeah, they did lose.
Yeah. So and then also Michael Jordan did mention UConn. Women's UConn. Yeah. So
He did.
how you feel
It's
about
because
that?
like a fan, I think it was a fan came in and wanted the autograph. He
It
asked would
was
they
it was a friend of Scott Burrell's, I think, that
yeah,
came
yeah.
in.
And
Mm-hmm.
he asked like where did they go and they said Connecticut and he was like, yeah, Connecticut got women's basketball too. Hey, don't sleep on Connecticut, baby. Don't sleep on
Right.
UConn.
Right.
Don't sleep.
So yeah. But yeah, I definitely got emotional at the end. You know, well, he got emotional actually at the end when he talked about how, I don't know if you seen that, but he kind of teared up when he was talking about like him being who he was. So if people are not gonna play to their level, then don't play. So
Right.
I get it. I get it. Like if I'm
Yeah.
working on it, I've felt like that when I worked in group projects in like high school, like or college. Like if I'm giving my all
You can give yours.
and you not, like the heck you here for? Like
Or I'm telling
so
my
I totally
professor,
get
like,
where you're coming from.
listen, I had that happen to me at Webster. I was in a group project and one person was not pulling their load. I'm not finna do the entire project. Listen, let's cut their percentage down because they ain't doing their work. They don't get no
Right.
grade.
So I don't know if he got emotional because of the fact that people just think he a bad person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For how for you know just wanting his teammates to be better. Like I don't know if that's why he got emotional, but yeah, I don't
I
know.
think I think maybe it was because like people thought he was too rough, he was too hard on people, like he wasn't like I think people think you're supposed to like coddle your teammates and like and give them pats on the back and make them feel appreciated. We here for listen, I know we're teammates, but the goal is to win. And the ultimate goal is to win a championship. So like
Right,
if you can't stand tough love and me beating you down, opponents are gonna run over you. You have to be able to stand your own. And so I think in the instance with Steve Kerr, because like he was picking on Steve Kerr too, Steve Kerr hauled off. I think Steve Kerr hit him or something.
hmm and
That's how
then Mike
he.
punched
That's
him in the eye.
yeah. But then, like after that moment, like he gains. I believe that moment is when Mike respected Steve Kerr. After that, like you
Yeah,
can stand up for yourself. Like you cannot be a part of my team or whatever, and you can't defend yourself in at least against me, and we're teammates.
right.
So, and I got it, and I think he understood too that everybody isn't gonna work or play at his level, but at least if you can at least try to get there.
hmm Right, right,
Try. If you don't try, that's a problem.
right. Because like he said, like he not gonna ask his teammates to do something that he not gonna do. So
Facts.
come on now.
Facts. Big
But
facts.
but anyway, that was episode 7 was great. Now on to episode 8. So the top of the episode touched on the 1998 Eastern Conference semifinals with the Hornets, and B.J. Armstrong was with the Hornets at the time. He was a former
Boo.
Bulls, so
He was cocky, baby.
he felt he knew how to beat them just because he played alongside Michael Jordan. Okay, he
Baby,
was
he
like
was
you said
cocky.
cocky. Okay,
He was like I know the he was like I know them. I know what they gonna do. I know the routine. Man,
right.
the cockiness of it all.
I mean, they won. I mean, hey, I give it to them. They won the first game. He got
They
cocky after
did.
that 3-point lead they had,
They
and he made
did.
that shot. He got cocky. I'm like, okay, so you should know better
You should
than
know
to be
that
gloating in front of the bench.
it takes for one small comment or one small infraction just to ignite Michael Jordan's dog in him. It just take one small thing. One.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Yep.
gloating was that one thing.
Yep. So they also brought up the whole, which I didn't, like I said, we was young, we didn't know, but they brought up the whole LeBradford Smith incident where he scored 37 points on Michael Jordan. This was when it was the Washington Bullets. Okay, this was 93. Okay, so he scored 37 points against Michael Jordan in Chicago, in their hometown, and then I think Michael made up this whole story that LeBradford Smith was like, he like put his arm on his shoulder, was like, nice game or something like that.
Yeah, he made it up. And
Yeah,
that's what
he
fueled
made
his
that
fight.
up, right. Right. So that kind of fueled him next game. Of course, he would score 36 points in the first half alone.
The first half alone.
The first half. Okay. Against LeBradford Smith in Washington.
And here's my
But
thing about
like,
Michael Jordan. I like that he can take just the smallest infraction to motivate him for the next game.
if that's how
That's
you
his
gotta do
motivation
it,
right there.
if that's how you gotta do it, then do it. I get it.
Man,
I
that's
get
his
it. You gotta make
motivation
up some
right
stuff.
there. But yeah, so I appreciate that. Like, that's his motivation. That it takes the smallest infraction. It don't take much. You have to be able to motivate yourself to want to win against an opponent, and Michael Jordan was the epitome of that.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate
So
that.
right. Now in the episode, he was still playing baseball at the time, but there was a baseball strike in '94. And the major league tried to start the season with replacement players. But MJ was like, no, not doing it. So he was like, he just quit. So
Listen, I'm out.
yeah. So MJ was working out with his old teammates, his Bulls teammates. Okay, no, he called up, I think, BJ Armstrong, and to come hang out, and he ended up doing like workouts or whatever with the team, and everybody was like, oh, speculating like, oh my god, is he coming back? Is he coming back? And sure enough,
His return statement was, "I'm back." That was it.
that's all
That was
you need.
it.
That's all
That
you
was it.
need. Okay.
I'm back. It
So
wasn't like no long drawn out soliloquy. Was it? It was just like, I'm back.
no, I decided to
Whatever.
take my talents back to the NBA. Like none of that.
Yeah, it wasn't none of that. It was just, is that a jab at LeBron? Is that a jab?
Is
Whoop.
it? Is it?
I mean,
Nah.
he did take his talents to South Beach, you know.
But he came back in like the late in like the 94-95 season. He came back pretty late, like in March. My thing
Yeah.
was, we know that you condition your body for baseball at this point. So your body's not used to playing at a physical
Basketball minutes.
level in basketball, right? So my thing was, why didn't he just wait that season out, get his body right, train, and then come back that next season? I don't know if he just wanted to come back now, but
He could
either way,
have.
huh?
He could have, and it's probably just the competitor in him. You never know
Right,
his mindset.
right. But either way, I mean, the team was struggling at that season. They were barely over 500, and their record was like 34-31. Okay, but at that time they also lost Horace Grant. He was like
Mm-hmm.
the big man, which they didn't have anymore. So he went to the Magic. So he played his first game, and he still wore the number 45 when he was in baseball. But he felt like when he came back with the number 45, he felt like It was a new beginning for him. And his first time playing without his father. And then he
Yeah.
also wore that number in high school, he said. So I'm like,
It,
it's kind of weird seeing him in 45, the Bulls jersey. And then he said he had his basketball shorts on backwards. I'm like, this dude tripping.
yeah, he was not prepared. It was like he wasn't
No,
mentally prepared. Like his
no.
I think he was there physically, his mind wasn't there just yet.
Which is why I think he should have just sat out and just got his mind right. And I don't know. I don't
But
think
I
they
will
ever
say,
mentioned like why he did that, like why he went straight
yeah,
to
I don't.
NBA at that
If
time.
they did, I don't remember it, but I'm not too sure.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do know is that like after that first game, I'm not sure if it was a news article or somebody made a comment to him, but they was like, 45 ain't the real, or 45 is
No,
not the 23 Jordan, something like
no,
that.
that was Nick Anderson of the Magic.
Okay.
After they won that first game, he was like, "Man, 45 ain't 23." And then he was like, "Oh shoot!" That's when Michael changed his jersey back to 23 and clowned.
And clowned on
Yeah,
him.
that was Nick Anderson that said that. Yeah,
They
yeah.
always messing with him.
I swear to God, they better stop messing with him.
They always
But
messing with him. Like he don't be bothering y'all. Y'all just be want to pick fights for what?
so yeah, he changed it back to 23, and they won game 2. Um, the next year they faced the Magic again, and they swept them.
Sweet.
Swept,
Pull out the brooms.
swept. Um, and then they faced the Supersonics, Seattle Supersonics. That's when your boo used to play it, right?
Yeah, keep it by the Supersonics.
He was a Supersonic. Mm. But that was Gary Payton and Sean Kemp.
Listen,
Yeah,
Gary Payton, great player,
the glove.
but he made this comment like, I wasn't scared of MJ. I was gonna take him. Like I was ready for him. Michael was watching it on that iPad and he was just cracking up. He was like, I wasn't worried about the glove.
He
Like,
won't worry about that, man.
and it's just so funny to see. Like, it's funny to hear all these players like give their side, and just like how confident they felt, because like they were. Wait, hold on, my dog's growling. Shut up! It's your tail. Stop it. Okay, but they were all just extra confident in the fact that like this is my moment, my year. I'm finna take Michael Jordan down. No,
Right. And actually, episode 8 is when they played on
Gary
Father's Day
Payton.
with Seattle Sonics. So,
Okay.
our bad. It was episode 8. Um, so, yeah, like you said, he said he wasn't worried about him. He was Father's Day. That's what he was worried about.
Yeah,
So,
like he wasn't worried about him at all. His main
no.
goal was, yeah.
But
But
they was
Gary Payton
down.
was just,
They was down 3-0. The Supersonics were losing 3-0. Gary Payton was like, that whole time he wasn't like defending Michael. So, but if he would have started out the series like defending Michael, kind of distracting him or whatever he was talking about, it might have went a little different. That series might have
yeah,
went a little different if I
yeah.
think George Karl was the coach at the time, right?
And I think he was the coach when they went somewhere and he didn't speak. Like I think Michael said hi to him and he just kept walking.
No, I think that was a different team.
It was, listen,
Yeah, I think.
it was too many people
Oh,
who was being rude to Michael Jordan, and y'all was fueling his fire because he was whipping all your
it
ass.
probably was
I can't
George
keep.
Karl. I'm not sure, but
I
yeah,
think it was
but
him. It was a coach. I
yeah,
know it was a coach. They was out at dinner. I think it was a team dinner, and the coach was there. He spoke, and then that man ignored him like he wasn't there.
right. So
You
you
learn
know
your
that people.
lesson. You learn your lesson.
But all right, episode 9.
Oh, last two. I'm just so sad.
I know. Oh.
I'm just so
I was
sad.
like, I wasn't looking forward to the last two because I'm like, it's the end. Okay, I
It
was
came
so.
way too fast. It came too
I
fast.
know it was getting so good, but But now episode 9, it opened up with MJ's rivalry with Reggie Miller. Now, I cannot stand Reggie Miller. Okay, I was never
I
a
ain't got no
fan.
problem. He just a
I was
little
not a
cocky.
fan of Reggie Miller. Okay,
Did he ever win a championship? No. No.
I don't think so. But he
He
was
a
like
little
the
cocky.
three
That's all.
point
Just a little
shooter.
cocky.
He was the 3-point shooter. I'll give him that.
I will give him that. He is the 3-point shooter.
Yeah, and it's so funny
But
because
he
like all these teams they go up against, they be like, oh man, like they think like these teams that come play against the Bulls, they feel like they were always the better of the superior team. I'm just like, dude.
and he felt like that. Like he was like, I felt that
Yeah,
we were the better team. Like
because
we
they
were the
had
better
Mark
team.
Jackson, they had Mark. Or was it Jalen Rose at the time? I forgot. I
No,
think
it
it
was
was
Jalen
no
Rose.
Mark Jackson.
And they had
No,
Jalen
no, it was
Rose.
Jalen Rose. I'm
It
tripping.
was
Mark
Jalen
Jackson was
Rose.
a few years earlier. Okay, right. They had
Yeah, they
Jalen
had Jalen
Rose.
Rose.
I forgot who else they had, but yeah, their team was kind of stacked. So
And Larry Bird was their coach.
for the first, that was his first year as the Pacers coach, right?
Yep.
And he's played with Michael, so you know Larry Bird, I'm talking about. But they also talked about Game 5 of the Utah Jazz series and the infamous flu game.
Food poisoning, baby. It's food poisoning.
We didn't know at the time. Everybody thought it was a flu game.
Thought it was a flu. It was food poisoning. He had ate pizza the night before. Pizza.
Tell the story. Tell the story. Tell the story.
So the night before the game, he had ate some pizza, the whole pizza by himself, and was
Well,
just
no. So
sick.
so it was like the night before the game, Game 5. He got hungry. He said it was like him, 3 other people, and a couple of security people, whatever. So it was about probably like 5 or 6 people there. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So they said everything was. It was like 10:30 at night. The hotel like bar or lobby or whatever, kitchen, whatever was closed. Everything was closed except for this one pizza spot. So they went to order the pizza, and 5 people delivered one pizza, which is kind of
Just to see him,
what the
probably.
hell? Right. Why is 5 people delivering one pizza? Anyway, so dude, I forgot who the dude was, but he paid for the pizza or whatever, and he had a funny feeling about it. MJ claimed he ate that whole pizza by himself, which I don't know,
I can
assuming
believe
that
that. I can listen. I feel like a lot of people can eat a whole pizza by themselves. I feel
I
like
definitely can eat a whole pizza by myself. I definitely can, especially Emo's pizza. I can. I can. Yep. So okay, I can see
people.
that. You
Yeah.
know, but so he ate the pizza by himself, and he also said that the other people that was in the room with him didn't get sick, so they might not have eaten the
Yeah.
pizza. But okay. So and then they said about 2:30 in the morning, he was throwing up. And then, like at 3 p.m., they called somebody to come to the room because he was balled up, curled up in
It
the
was his
ball.
trainer. It was his trainer.
Yeah, the trainer. Okay, yeah. So said he was curled up in a little ball. And so the next game, Phil was like, "Man, you sure you can play?" And MJ like, "Look, it's game 5. Okay, I'm finna
I
do what
gotta
I can
play.
do. Right, I'm finna do what I can do." So he went out there and balled out. I think he played 44 minutes, made 38 points.
And he was
Dude.
sick. And I mean, he was like sweat, and you already sweat like in a basketball game, but he was overly sweating.
Hmm.
Man, he was tired. Like he was leaning on Scottie Pippen walking off the floor. He was like he was done for. But the fact that we for this many years thought it was the flu game and it was food poisoning.
Yeah, the whole time.
All these years we're thinking it's the flu. This man had food poisoning.
Crazy.
But I say that to say that it's all about your mindset. A lot of people when they are this sick, they still don't play. He
Hmm.
played.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the players who don't play are weak. It's just a different mindset.
Right. Some people can play through stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
And he was
you
one of
know,
them people.
definitely a
Probably the only
mentor.
person.
Right.
It's all mental. You're exactly right. It is all mental. all
Hmm.
mental.
Yep. And
And
then
the coach, I was thinking like the Utah Jazz coach in
I was just gonna say, yep.
his press conference, they asked him like, so you knew Michael was sick, and he was like, he was sick. He didn't even know. I think he
Well,
lying,
how y'all not know this dude was sick? But okay.
but whatever, whatever.
Anyway, um, so also what I didn't know, so the whole thing with Steve Kerr's dad, I didn't know about that. That was news to me.
Me too.
Yeah,
I felt
that
like
was
him and
crazy.
Mike could have. I think that him and Mike. I think they bonded after he stood up to him, but I think they could have bonded more about that as well. Like
Well, they
he, like
didn't.
you know what I'm saying?
I think Steve Kerr said they didn't really talk about their
Yeah,
fathers. Really.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm just saying like if they did talk about it, that could have been a moment like for them. But I get it. It's personal. Like you don't always want to share your personal life and y'all just teammates. But y'all teammates like for half the year, like for more than half the year. But like I I learned a lot more about Steve Kerr doing episode 9, I believe, and he
yeah.
gained a lot of my respect. Like he said he was a low draft pick. He was picked by
I don't think he was a draft pick. I
he
think he
said
said
he
he
was
wasn't
a
a draft
very
pick.
no, he said he was a very very low draft pick.
Oh, okay.
So he was drafted. Um and he wasn't and he went to a college he was almost undrafted. No, he wasn't recruited for college. And some team offered him a scholarship. He took it, and he was playing there. And his dad was the president of a college in Beirut. And with
Mm-hmm.
and with whatever was going on there, they at the time like did not like Americans. His dad he stood out like a sore thumb.
All right.
Two men were in the classroom, like like poised as students. They shot him square face in the head. And for a child to like get that news in the middle of the night about your parent, I know they probably messed him up really bad, but his mom said he took that and just continuously like went to the gym. He continued to play. Like
Yeah,
I learned,
but it was
I gained a
actually
lot of respect.
when he played college ball, like it was actually I forgot what city they went to, but it was it was people in the stands like actually like taunting him about his dad's death, like
That's crazy.
stupid. But he
That is
ended up beating their ass. But the team that he played against ended up beating their ass, so he got his revenge.
that's
But still, that's
crazy.
kind of stupid.
Stupid. But for me though, I learned a lot more about Steve Kerr. Like he gained a lot more of my respect. And he's an amazing player in his own right. Like he's an amazing coach as well.
Hmm.
Um, and
Yeah.
I think with us learning his story, it brought us to the moment with him making that shot in the game. Like hey, like that's your moment, Steve. This is your moment. And he
Right.
was ready for his moment. And he made the
Hmm.
shot, and hey, the rest is history.
Yeah, especially because I think John Paxson actually took him under his wing his last season. He
Yep.
played with the Bulls and kind of just told him like, "Look, this what Michael gonna need. So this what
And
you
just
need
beat
to
her when
do."
he ready. And just beat
Right.
her.
Exactly.
And I
So
I think and this is just me, I don't play the sport, I don't play basketball, but I think when you have a veteran and they take you underneath your wing and they show you what's needed, listen, learn from it, take it all in, because like at any moment they can be you. And Steve Kerr took all of that and he had his moment as well.
no, he had a
And
few.
what I learned after the fact, like the other day, I learned this yesterday on the Instagram app. I learned that Steve Kerr won 3 championships like with the Bulls. The very next year, he won another one with the Spurs.
So yeah, that was gonna be at the end. But yeah, he's actually the first player in 50 years to to have 4 rings in a row, basically. So because he went with the San Antonio Spurs and they ended up winning the '99 season after the Bulls won in '98. So yeah, he just happened
Well,
to be with
in
yeah.
the right place at the right time.
Listen, four
Isn't
Pete,
he lucky?
four
Isn't
Pete.
he lucky? 4P. Isn't he lucky?
Ah. All right, and also in episode 9, they touched on Gus, who was like a second father to Michael Jordan,
His security
which that
guard.
part was sad to me, man. But like he had to have him at all times with him. But yeah, that was touching.
And you can tell that like um just from hearing them talk about Gus and the other security guards, I believe Mike had them same security guards like from the very beginning. They protected that man. They would play like the little quarter game in the locker room. First of all, y'all are here playing quarters. Great. But I think his and Gus's wife, I I like what she said when she was like, Mike used to call us at like 2 in the morning, or he would call Gus and would just be crying because he missed his dad so much, and Gus became like that father figure for him. Another moment that made Michael Jordan seem human.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get all of these.
It's,
So this whole 10-part documentary, it gave you moments that made this man like who is to many like he is the GOAT, but I guess they made him godlike. He's human. He has feelings. He has
mm-hmm.
moments. He cries. Like it was just like he's a person.
All
I
right.
knew that, but you know what I'm saying. Like it this brought it to light, and I
Yeah.
like, and those moments were my favorite moments of the whole 10-part documentary.
Yeah. And so we're gonna go on to episode 10. But speaking of showing his human side, I think episode 10 kind of showed it more. Um,
His kids were in there when I.
yeah, his kids was in that one. Speaking of his kids,
His kids grown. They
and
adult though. His
fine,
sons is fine. His
fine, okay?
his sons is fine.
And his daughter is
She's really
gorgeous.
pretty. She's
She looks
pretty.
just like him, like
She
just
just
like
had a
him.
baby.
Who?
She just had a baby.
Who? Michael?
The daughter.
Oh, the daughter just had a baby. Oh, okay.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
the first of all, in episode 10, it opens up with first of all seeing Michael Jordan jamming to some Kenny Lattimore.
He was
I,
like,
I needed to see that. It was everything.
but then he was like, me and him personal friends. Okay, come
Yeah,
on,
he was
gloat.
like he got the hook up, he got the new music, like
Yeah, like come on and gloat then. Like come on,
right.
gloat. Why don't you? Why don't
But
you?
seeing him jamming, like I'm just like, I didn't know I needed to see this.
Yeah,
I need this.
exactly.
Like, that was awesome. But so the Bulls, this is the whole 97, 98 season. This is the focus. Okay.
This is the fun. This is the last dance.
The last dance. So the Bulls go up against the Utah Jazz for the second consecutive year. And I think Utah, this is the only 2 years that the Utah actually made it to the finals. Was
Don't
the
make
ones
me
that they
laugh.
went against the ones they went against the Bulls, the only 2 times that they made it to the finals. So and they lost.
Don't make me laugh.
You have Karl Malone, Scottie Pippen. Whew.
John Stockton.
I mean John Stockton. I'm tripping. I said Scottie Pippen, but yeah, John Stockton. Man,
Was this
nail man.
okay? Okay, so question: was the
Yeah.
start of the finals, was this before or was this during the time when Dennis Rodman went to go wrestle?
This the second finals was the time that Dennis Rodman went. We gonna talk about that, but so game 3. Okay, game 3 of the finals. The Bulls held Utah Jazz at 54 points. That's embarrassing.
It's a
First of
blowout.
all, at halftime, the Utah Jazz were at 49 points. So you mean to tell me they only scored 5 points in them last 2 quarters?
That's
You got to have
they
impressive
wasn't.
defense to be able to stop them at 54 points the whole game. Like, your defense was impeccable along with the incredible offense. I think the score was like 90 something to 54. Like, what? That is unheard
Yeah,
of.
that's really sad and very unfortunate.
In that decade, like the way the
Yeah,
game
that's
was played,
impressive.
yeah, the way the
That's
game was played during that time to be able to hold a team 54 points, and
that's impressive.
you got Karl Malone and John Stockton, bruh. That's
That's
embarrassing,
impressive.
especially in
That
a
is.
finals game, dog. This is the finals. This ain't no regular season game.
It's embarrassing and impressive at the same time.
It's embarrassing for the Jazz, embarrassing for the Bulls,
Yep, all at the same
basically.
time.
Man,
And like the
that was crazy.
Jazz, the the Jazz had a parade. I was so confused.
They had a parade.
Like yeah, like the city had a parade before one of the games. I was just they was doing a lot. But I will say, unlike many people like who were speaking about that series said like the Jazz like were they felt they felt the series would go 7 games because the Jazz were a really, really, really good team.
Which they were. They were.
Yeah,
Yeah, I give them that. They
yeah.
were. So in this game, first of all, Dennis Rodman is the GOAT. I don't care what nobody say. He is a GOAT in his own right. Okay.
Hey,
This dude was doing any and everything. So this dude leaves after game 3, after they demolished the Utah Jazz in game 3. This dude goes to Michigan to go
so
wrestle with Hulk Hogan. Unexcused absence. Okay.
excused. It was a no call, no show. It was a no call, no
Right.
show. No call, no show. He was like, I'm
Unexcused
out.
absence, okay? What I love about Dennis Rodman is that he don't give a bleep. He don't care.
Yeah.
He do not
But
care. And but Phil Jackson didn't care either.
I also liked how Phil Jackson knew that he was different and knew that you had
Yeah.
to and Phil Jackson knew you had to handle him a certain way. You had to
Accordingly,
handle
right.
Dennis Rodman a certain way to get what you wanted out of him.
Exactly. But my
And
thing
Phil
is
Jackson did
with
that as a
Dennis
coach.
Rodman, yeah, he was like the bad boy in the NBA. Like, I don't know any other bad boys before him. I just knew Dennis Rodman was. But
Yeah.
like to me, it didn't. His bad boy image didn't overshadow his game at all. Cause he gonna
Yeah.
always give it his all on the court, no matter what. Like as long as this dude show up, that's all that matters. That's all you need to
He's
know. Is he
present.
show up?
He's present. He's
He don't.
present.
He gonna do the work. He gonna do it.
Yeah.
Just let him do what he want. As long as he come on today's game and play his butt off, which he did. That's all. That's all you need. That's all.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, through all of his craziness and his uniqueness, when he was there and he was present, he did his job.
Oh, he did. He
He
did.
he did he did his job. And I say this all the time. I don't care what people do in their personal life. As long as you show up and do your job and do it
And it
well, we good money.
and it don't really affect your game.
We good money.
Right. But
And he did his job.
exactly. So so in game 6 now, Scotty had a back injury.
And listen,
Yes.
Scotty, I don't care what you say about him. And I know that we all feel like Scotty needed a better payoff, or we was really mad about Scotty like not like he let his team down in that one game. All of that. That man played through a back injury. Do you know how bad it? Do you know if a lower back injury that takes out your function to move your body? If
Mhm.
you can go to the back and have them like work you out for 5 minutes and come back on the court and be a decoy, you one of the toughest people I know.
Yeah, but then it resulted in Michael Jordan having to play so many minutes. I think he played
Yeah,
almost the majority of the whole game.
yeah,
So the
and
dude was
then
tired, okay, having to
he
carry this
was.
team. But I'm just glad at the fact that Scottie Pippen was not selfish and he went back out there to help his team. Because if Michael Jordan played through freaking food poisoning, and you know how we
He,
feel when we have food poisoning, that's not it's not a good feeling. So
yeah,
the fact that Scotty went out there and did what he had to do for his team to be a decoy, and who knows if he wasn't a decoy, that game would have turned out different too. Because
yeah.
he was
But I
pivotal in
just
that game
appreciate.
being a decoy.
I just appreciate that just because of the fact that like I know what it feels like to have a back injury, and it is not great. Like
Hmm.
you cannot move, and like the trainer was saying that he was losing like momentum in his movement, so it was
Yeah, he
becoming to the point
couldn't.
where it was that painful. But for him to have the mindset of like, well, no, like work me out a little bit or give me a heating pad or whatever, and then swing back out there, I'll be a decoy. And he said I was a
Hmm.
decoy that whole game.
Yeah. One time I think I seen a play where he actually fell on his back. I'm like, oh, I know that hurt. Woo,
Yep.
woo. But
But
kudos
just
to
the
him
fact
for
that
doing
he
that.
did it, I have so much respect for a lot of people in this documentary just because of what they played through. Like,
Hmm. Right.
like players today will never do that.
Anyway, so game 6 was like the epitome of game 6 was like the epitome of a playoff game. Okay, then you
Yeah,
got Dennis Rodman, and Karl Malone going at each other. Okay, they knocking each other in the jaw and shit and crap. Like you got Pippen with an injury. You got the mental toughness from the Utah Jazz. You got a close back and forth game.
a
Like
tired Michael Jordan.
a tire Michael, the down to the wire shots.
Yep.
Speaking of that, during the last minute where it was like under a minute, it's like 41 seconds. Man, man.
So do
Jordan,
you think?
Michael, huh?
So I was going to ask you, like, do you think that he pushed off of that
Oh, we'll get to
play?
that. We'll get to that.
Okay.
But Jordan scored, he scored under that 41 seconds. So he scored and they were down a point, which got them to 31 seconds left. Okay. Utah had the ball. Michael Jordan stole the ball from Karl Malone on his weak side. He didn't see him. I think Scottie Pippen was guarding him, but Michael came on his
It was Dennis
right
Rodman who
side.
was. So it was Dennis
Oh, Dennis
Rodman who was.
Rodman. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So and then Michael Jordan stole the ball, so he got the ball. Okay, all right. So he
And wait.
all Michael Jordan needed was just that right moment to shoot the ball. He was gonna do it like he wasn't passing the ball to nobody. If y'all,
Yeah,
I got the ball. I'm finna make this shot. So me personally, I don't feel like he pushed off on Russell.
I
I
don't.
He definitely did not push off. He didn't even he barely
He
pushed the
barely touched
dude.
him. So
He
his
touched him, but
momentum
he
was
barely
already
pushed him.
going that way. Like he was
His
already
momentum was
falling
already
going that way.
right. But he definitely did not just go. Ugh. He did not push that dude at all. So
But in that moment, so after he stole the ball from Karl Malone, so Michael said he looked at Phil Jackson because they could have took a timeout, but Phil Jackson just did not call it because in his mind he was like, if if we can make a play without them having the time to like draw up their own defense, well, we can
yeah,
make like something happen here, and that's exactly what they did.
yeah. So I think they used up a lot of time because it was like when he made that shot, it
Yeah,
was like 5 seconds left. So yeah. um Yeah, but people's all like, "Oh my god, he pushed on Russell." No, he didn't.
no, he did
No,
not. He
he
did not.
didn't. No, but he made the shot. It was 90-88, 5 seconds left. Utah had the ball. Stockton took the last shot, missed, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. That's number 6 for Michael Jordan, baby. That's number 6.
Two three peats.
2 3 peats.
Man,
Man, I just can't believe it's over.
I know, man. Dude, everybody like was high off that win, bro. And I'm not talking
Yeah,
literally. I'm talking figuratively. Well, maybe a
and
little literally. We don't know.
I also liked how at the end of that whole season, the championship, how they knew this was their last dance,
Well,
and
they knew
so
because they were told it was. So,
yeah,
I
and
mean,
they were told that. And so like
mhm.
when that season ended for them, I like how Steve Kerr said that Phil Jackson put together like a little bonfire for them, and they all came to that little bonfire and wrote out a message or whatever
On what the
and
team
said
meant to
like how
him.
they, yeah,
Hmm.
that's so beautiful.
Well, that's that Zen feel
That's
way,
that yoga. That's that yoga
right?
Phil Jackson had them doing.
But I
I
also
thought that
like
was
the
amazing.
fact that Karl Malone actually went on the bus and congratulated him. I thought that was a classy move, you know.
Isaiah Thomas, where are you? My bad. You don't shake hands. Sorry.
Yes, I thought that was very classy. So
It was.
yeah,
So overall, I feel like this was an amazing 10 part. This was an amazing 10 part documentary series. It gave you insight. It gave you perspective. It gives you, if you don't have the motivation to like do something, this gives you that.
right. Especially in the sports world.
Yeah,
I
this
feel
gives you
because
all
many
of that.
athletes, yeah. But so with the episode 10 ending off, so they basically was telling what happened after the season ended. So Michael Jordan uh ended up returning. So he retired after
Again.
that season, for the second time, yes. And then he eventually came back in 2001 when he played for the Washington Wizards. We all remember that, right? For like 2 seasons, which they actually sucked. Um, yeah, he couldn't take them to the playoffs. So that was the end of that. So he officially retired for the third time. Scottie Pippen, after that 97-98 season, he was traded to the Rockets for that next season. And then he was ultimately traded to the Trailblazers, which I don't know if you knew that, but he played for like 4 seasons
I
or whatever. Oh, you know that? Yeah, he played for the Trailblazers, and then he went back to the Bulls.
Okay.
This is when John Paxson was the general manager, and he brought him back, but he didn't really play that well. So that was the end of that. Steve Kerr, which we mentioned, he got traded to the Spurs and ended up winning his
Winning
fourth
another
ring.
championship.
The
Another
GOAT, he won his
championship.
fourth ring. And then Dennis Rodman. So he was released from the Bulls, and he joined the Lakers for for a prorated salary for the rest of the season, but he ended up getting released from there too. So, but his behavior kind of alienated him from the NBA. He
Yeah.
didn't really want because at one point he did play for the Dallas Mavericks, and Steve Nash was there at the time, and Steve Nash was just like, dude was not motivated at all. I mean, Dennis Rodman said himself, like, all he wanted to do was play basketball and F girls and just have fun.
Yeah.
Like, that was his whole thing. He wasn't trying to, he didn't have that mindset of Michael Jordan, like, win games. I mean,
Yeah.
like,
And
he just let it
and
happen.
this is just me, to have Dennis Rodman play at his full potential. He has to have the teammates that's gonna back him for that. And these other teams probably didn't have that. He got that when he played for the Bulls. Like he got that in Michael Jordan. He got that in Phil Jackson as the coach. So I
That's a good
so
point.
I can see why he didn't feel that with his other teams. I can definitely
That's a
see
good
that.
point. That's a good point, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And as we all know, Phil Jackson went to the Lakers.
Went on to win 5 more. Okay. Five
Boom, boom,
more.
boom.
Crazy. Didn't he coach for the Knicks too at one point after that?
So he didn't coach the Knicks. He was the owner. Now, the Phil Jackson who owned the Knicks is a different Phil Jackson from Phil Jackson as the coach for the Bulls and the Lakers. Don't compare the two, because Phil Jackson is one of the greatest basketball coaches out here. One of the greatest. I think Popovich is an amazing coach too. But
Yeah.
for me, Phil Jackson is one of the greatest ones.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
his and you can tell that his team, especially the Bulls, they they liked him. That they
Oh yeah.
adapted to the triangle offense. I
Which
mean,
which was later brought to the Lakers, you know.
yeah. Steve
But
Kerr brought it to the Warriors.
right. Right.
So listen, I
Um
feel great series.
okay. No, yeah. Yeah, I felt like I gotta like if you didn't like Michael Jordan the first 6 episodes, probably changed your mind the last four. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, some people just don't like him, but
That's their prerogative.
I I understand him. I understood Kobe and I understand Michael Jordan. So
Yeah.
they come from the same
Yeah.
cloth. So I get it. I get it. Like
Yeah.
But like I said, we was young when this happened, and to finally get the full scope as an adult of what really happened behind the scenes, put
It's
everything
pretty
into
lit.
perspective.
It's pretty
Like,
lit. I liked it.
yeah. So
So
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
if they were to do this again with another team or player, like who would you want to see?
I think I because I've seen the Lakers play during the 99 and 01 seasons, I wouldn't want to see that just because I already knew
Yeah,
what was going
I
on.
watched it. Yeah,
But I would be interested in seeing actually the Spurs
with Tim
because they
Duncan.
won 5 championships in 15 years. Like they were pretty dominant in like the early 2000s because they was winning like every other year. Like
Yeah,
they was a good team too. Like Popovich, like that was one heck of a
yeah.
team. So I would definitely want to see that.
So I would want to see it's still basketball, but it's not NBA. I would want to see a documentary about UConn women's basketball team because like they don't have a 30 for 30. So whether it's a 30 for 30 or something like this, I would want to see them, especially because like they have 11 national championships and they won 4 in a row.
Right, that would be good too. That
It's
would be
like they
good.
won 4 in a row and then they've also run 2 in a row and then they won 3 in a row. So I would want to see that whole all of that. They're
That's
dominant,
a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, that'd be
all with the
interesting
same
too.
coach. Same
But I mean, I
coach,
don't know how much. I don't see people don't be. I don't know who taking footage, so we don't know. Like
man. But I think that would be dope to see.
I'm just gonna start documenting my life just in
Come
case.
on now, come on
Just in case they want
documentary.
the footage. Like I'm just going to start documenting everything.
Come on documentary.
I would
This
just
was a
say,
great episode, guys. Great
yeah.
episode.
But you know what
Um,
was funny? You know what was
what?
funny? Like I was watching like ESPN and all these like news outlets were saying, "Oh, these last episodes 9 and 10 are going to be juicy," and I can't believe Michael let them screen these episodes. Like, I ain't seen nothing juicy about these last 2 episodes.
I didn't
Like,
see
okay,
nothing juicy.
they just wanted us to tune in. We was gonna tune in anyway. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
just
what
say
was
tune
juicy about
in.
the episodes?
Just say tune in because I was gonna watch anyway.
Right, but with nothing juicy. I was looking for the juicy stuff. I'm like, I ain't seen episode 9, so like maybe it's in episode 10. I ain't seen nothing.
It wasn't
I'm
juicy.
like, all right,
It was just really good.
right.
All
But
right,
yeah.
so I'm finna plug us one more time. If you do not follow us on Instagram, our Instagram is WDWKAS Podcast. Make
And our
sure you click
Twitter,
the link in the Make sure you click the link in the bio to buy the merchandise. Again, it is WDWKAS Podcast on Instagram.
yes, and our Twitter is What Do Women Know 1, and that's KNO1.
Also, find us on YouTube. It's WDWKAS Podcast as well. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a like, comment, share, all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
As always, I am Brino.
And I'm Vicky D.
We will see y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.
Hey man, what the do y'all know about sports?